Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is this amazingly beautiful 18-inch doll bed dress. Now what is that? That is just a doll that you set it like you would make your bed and you would set the doll on your bed and spread out her dress so it looks all pretty. So that's what a bed doll is. Now I remember those from when I was a kid when I lived with my grandma, and she had the most elaborate bed dolls, and so I tried to create one. Now this is my second one. In the description box I'll put a link to the first one that I made, and this one you may recognize because I tried to make this dress look as much as the toilet paper dress, the toilet paper cover Barbie doll dress that the last one I made. I tried to make this just like that, so if it looks familiar, that's why. A little bit of a different hat, but I am so super proud of this. This took me a month to film with everything that's went on recently. It took me a month to film this, and then about a week to get the pattern done, get that on Etsy. Holy cow. So needless to say, I am very, very, very excited and happy and proud of this dress. Okay, so this dress is made to fit a 18-inch doll. So that is like the American Girl doll. At Walmart, the brand name is, I believe it's a My Life doll. So you can find them on Amazon, you can find them at Walmart, wherever. So just get you one of those dolls, and you are going to need, we're just going to go straight into the supplies, 2 skeins of, I'm going to call it your secondary color. So I use 2 skeins of the white for, well, you can see the edging on the ruffles and the bodice of the dress and the hat, but also underneath is a big skirt. And you're going to need 2 skeins of your secondary color that you choose, and then 2 skeins of your main color, which my main color is Orchid. Red Heart Super Saver Orchid. Okay, so you're going to need 2 skeins of each of your colors. And then if you want, I mean, there's all kinds of different little decoration things you can buy from Walmart. So like I just found this ribbon in my stash. I have no idea where that came from, but I was pretty astonished that I had a color that matched the yarn, so I was happy about that. But I'm not going to go too much into decorating it. I'm happy with just the ribbon around the waist, and the only reason I did that was because after you work the skirt part, the part of the bodice right here, it kind of like the stitch is kind of stretched a little bit, so I thought, well, I'll just tie a piece of ribbon around it. But yours may not do that, you know. I think it was pretty much just my tension. Anyway, so anything that you need to embellish or you want to use to decorate your dress with, you can get that. So this whole dress, hat and all, is made with I can't get it to focus. I'm too far away. A 6mm hook. And a needle to weave in your ends, scissors. Now, on the back of her, so the way we make the dress is we make the dress just with a open in the back, right? Well, the doll is a little thicker than what the dress will close on the back. So what we do is we work a little flap right here, and then I sewed buttons on one side and then used the flap to go around the button, so that made the dress fit. So for the button, I just use a 1/2-inch button. Got a little 1/2-inch button right there, and then needle and thread to sew the button on. Now you don't have to do that. You could have just attached a chain to each side of the back of the dress and tied 3 bows, like, you know, chain a certain length, 20, and attach it to this side, do another one here and another one here, and then do on this side of our dress, attach a chain of 20, chain of 20, chain of 20, and then just tied the 2 chains together. That would have worked just fine too. So it's not 100% necessary. You don't have to do that, but I liked doing the buttons on there just because it's a nice secure fit that isn't just gonna untie or fall off. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about her hat. So her hat, this is her hat, just like that. And the part of the video that has the hat, which is part 3, I tell you guys, I'm not 100% in love with this hat. I honestly, okay. I honestly, the first bed doll I made, her hat is solid and then has just a brim around the edge. I think I would have liked that better. I wanted this hat to match the lace of her dress, which is, chain lace. So that's why it's the way it is. I think I honestly would have preferred it to be solid. So I am going to add the link to the video part of the first bed doll dress that has the hat, and if you guys want to make that hat instead, you guys can. I totally understand. Like I said, I'm not 100% a fan of this one. I think I would have liked the other one better, but like I said, I just wanted to incorporate the chains. So like what we have is we have the base of the dress, right? You can see that big base, and then we come off the base with 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of a chain lace. Well, and that's what the hat is. The chain lace, just like the layers of the dress. So that's why the hat is the way it is. Like I said, I think I would have preferred it different, but that's all right. And she looks just fine without it too. And I kind of like the way it looks if it's sitting cockeyed like a Southern belle. All right. Okay, so like I said earlier, the hat is going to be in the third part of this tutorial. So that means there's going to be 3 parts to this tutorial. There's going to be a part 1, part 2, and a part 3. In part 1, we work the bodice of the dress, and part 2 starts with a homework portion that I give you guys, which is so easy. I promise you guys can do it. And if any reason whatsoever you need help, my email address is in the description box, the very bottom of the description box. Shoot me an email and I will be more than happy to help you guys, okay? Having said that, let me make sure I have everything covered. Pretty sure I do, okay? Alright, so get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. Alrighty, so to get started, go ahead and get a chain of 33 done, and then come back here, and then we're going to start row 1, okay? So pause your video, get your chain of 33 done, and then come back. So we're going to start row 1 now, and what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in the second chain from hook. So not this one, but the one right there. We're going to single crochet right in there. And now we're just going to single crochet right across our chain. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get mine done and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I'm coming to my last chain right there. So I'm going to work a single, and that's the end of row 1. Now to go on to row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to single crochet into the very first single crochet. So that very first one. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we should have a total of 6 singles right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good deal. Okay, so now we're going to increase into the next, and all the increases is 2 single crochets into that next single. So increase into your next. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to increase into the next. So that's 2 singles into that next single. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Increase into your next. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, split that. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to increase into the next. That's 2 singles. And now we should have 6 single crochet left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good deal. Now all we're going to do is single crochet into those last 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so that's the end of row 2, and we should have, if we did this right, 36. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Good deal. All right, so to move on to row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. In row 3, we're just going to single crochet into each single across. All right, so I'm going to get this done. Dang it. I'm going to get this done off camera, and I will be right back. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've made it to the end of row 3, and I went ahead and singled into that last single crochet. So to move on to row 4, we're going to chain 1 and turn. In row 4, we're going to single crochet into the very first single, so that one right there. Single crochet into there, and then we're going to single crochet into the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we should have a total of 7 single crochet right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now we're going to increase into the next. Okay, so we're going to single crochet into the next 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we're going to increase into the next. Single into the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Increase into the next. Single crochet into the next 6 again. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Increase into the next. And now we should have 7 single crochets left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. All right, now just single crochet into those last 7. And that is the end. If you guys can hear that, that's thunder. All right, so that's the end of round 4. So we should have 40 single crochet now, okay? All right, so we're going to move on to row 5. we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each single straight across. I just about yarned over. All right, so just single crochet across, and I will meet you at the end. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I made it all the way across for row 5, and we're going to go on to row 6. We are going to chain 1 and turn. My chair will not stop sliding back, and it's driving me nuts. Okay. All right, so for row 6, we're going to single crochet into that very first single. And we're going to single crochet into the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to increase into the next. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then increase into the next. All right, now we're going to single crochet into 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, now increase into the next. And now we're going to single crochet into 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Increase into the next, and now we should have 7 single crochet left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. All right, now you just single crochet into those last 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1 and turn, and we should have 44 single crochet. So row 7, all we're going to do is just single crochet across. All right, so I'm going to let you guys get row 7 done. You just single crochet into every single all the way across, and I will get mine done off camera, and I'll be right back. You get on a roll, you can't stop. All right, I'll be right back. I didn't talk because I wanted to see if you guys could hear the thunder. All right, so I just finished row 7. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we've got row 8. And row 8, we are going to single crochet into that very first single. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should have 7 singles right here. 3, 6, 7. All right, now we're going to decrease over the next 2. So the decrease, all that is we're going to go in, pull up a loop into the first single crochet, go into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, we yarn over and pull through all 3. And that's the decrease. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to decrease again. So we're going to go into the next, pull up a loop, into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops, pull through all 3. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Decrease again, go into the next, pull up a loop, go into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops, pull through all 3. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Decrease, pull up a loop, go into the next, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. Now we should have 7 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Single crochet into those last 7. Oop. Make sure you get both loops of that last single, which mine is fighting me a little. Alright, so that is the end of round 8, and we should have 40 single crochets. Now what, I know you're probably thinking, what was the point of doing those decreases? Well, what that does is it creates a little dent for where it'll sit on her chest. You see it? Can you guys hear the rain? It's pouring. You hear it? Alright, so we are going to chain 1 and turn. Now what we're going to do is we are going to, so you work your round 8, chain 1, and then turn. So what is facing up now is what's going to be considered the right or the front of the dress. So I'm just going to take my stitch marker and run it through the legs of a single crochet, just so we can keep this the front of the dress, okay? So that's all we got to do. So now what we're going to do is work on the little shoulder straps. So like the front of our dress is here, and how this fits is just going to go around our doll. So we're going to have a shoulder strap coming from here, and then we're going to have one coming from here, and then we're going to sew those together. It's kind of similar to the way we did our Barbie, or the way I did my the toilet paper dress, the toilet paper cover Barbie dress. I can't get my words out. Okay, so anyway, get your front marked, and I'm going to come right back. Okay, so what we're going to do, we've already chained 1 and we turn, mark our front. We're going to single crochet into the very first single crochet and into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet right there. And now over the next 2, we're going to work a decrease, just like we have. Okay, so now we have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say 5 single crochet. All right, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn. So that was row 9. So now our shoulder strap's going to be worked over these few stitches right here. So for row 10, we're going to single crochet into that very first single, which is actually that decrease. And then we're going to work a decrease over the next 2. Okay, so we have 2 stitches, our very first one, and then that decrease we just worked. All right, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now for row 11, 12, 13, and 14, we're just going to single crochet right across. So we just finished row 10, so here's 11, chain 1, turn. Here's 12, chain 1, turn. Here's 13, there. Chain 1, turn. Here's 14. Alright, so for row 15, we're going to chain 1 and turn, single crochet into the first, and single crochet into the next, and then we're going to chain 1, pull up a loop, and we're going to cut. so there is the first little shoulder strap. Okay. All right, so to move on. Okay, so with the bodice of our dress, the stitch marker facing up, we're gonna flip it over. So we want the stitch marker facing away from us. What we're gonna do is we're gonna attach into the very first single crochet opposite of the shoulder strap we just finished. So the opposite side. We're gonna go right into that first single crochet with a slip stitch. Chain 1, and then we are going to single crochet, single crochet, get in there into the very first and into the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease over the next 2. All right, so basically what we're doing is repeating, what was it, 9 to 15? Yeah, 9 to 15. We're going to repeat exactly what we did over here. All right, so that was row 9. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Here's row 10, single crochet into the very first single, and then we're going to decrease over the next 2. All right, now we're going to chain 1 and turn, and now 11, 12, 13, and 14, we're going to single crochet across. So that was 11, or I mean, crap, that was 10. So here's 11, chain 1, turn, here's 12, chain 1, turn, here's 13, I have a tail right there, chain 1, turn, and here's 14. All right, now chain 1 and turn, and for row 15, single into each, chain 1, pull up a loop, and fasten off. Now this one is going to be backwards of the first one, but that's okay because it's a shoulder strap. It doesn't matter. So these are actually the back straps. So like I showed you earlier, this is going to come around to the back of our doll, and here's the shoulder from the back, and then we're going to make another one that's going to come up here, and then we're going to stitch them together at the top. Okay. So I'm actually going to pause here, and I'm going to get all these ends weaved in, just so they're out of the way and they're not confusing. But I'm not going to weave in this first end. Our very first one here, I'm not going to touch that one. That one's going to stay. All right, so I'm going to get these weaved in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all those ends weaved in besides this first one right there. So now let's move on to our straps that are going to be to the front of the doll. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece and turn it over so the stitch marker is facing away from us. Get your yarn on your hook with a slip knot. All right, now with our piece laying like this, the strap on the right side, we are going to count 5 stitches away. So right here is the part that a decrease is in, that stitch right there. So we're not going to count that, but we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is the single crochet we are going to attach to. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wiggle my needle around just to get that stitch to stay up so I know where I attach into. I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to go right in there with the slip stitch. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th stitch away from the strap on the right side. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to work a decrease. So we're going to chain 1, and the same stitch, the same single crochet we're attached to, We're going to work a decrease, the first part being into the one we attached to, and then go into the next and work your decrease. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to decrease over the next 2. Single crochet into the next 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to decrease over the next 2. Let's see, that's okay. Single crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to decrease over the next 2. All right, now we should have 16 single crochets. Well, I'll say 16 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. So now what we are going to do, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to decrease over the first 2. So right into that very first one gets the first part of the decrease, second part goes into the next. So there's 1, and now we decrease over the next 2. So we have 2 decreases right here. Okay, and that is technically, I'm going to start it over. So that was, what I should say is that I am going to start the row count over. So that for the shoulder straps on the front, that is going to be row 2. All right, so we're going to chain 1 and turn, and row 3, 4, 5, and 6, we're going to single crochet right across, okay? All right, so chain 1 and turn. So this is 3. Chain 1 and turn. 4. Chain 1 and turn. 5. Chain 1 and turn. And 6. All right, so for row 7, chain 1 and turn, single crochet into each, chain 1 and fasten off. Where'd I put my scissors? All right, pull that tail. Okay, so now we are going to work the next front strap. So what we're going to do, still making sure the stitch marker is away from us. So it should look like this. Get the slip knot on your hook, and we are going to attach into that very first single crochet right there. Well, that's actually a decrease, but if you look, you can see there's the slip stitch, there's the chain 1, there's the top of that decrease. We are going to attach right into the top of that decrease. I'm going to pull my tail to tighten up that slip stitch, chain 1, and now we're going to repeat row 2 through 7. So we decrease into the same one we just attached into. Well, the stitch that we just attached into gets the first part of a decrease. So go right in there, pull up a loop. Into your next, pull up a loop. There's 1 decrease. Now we decrease over the next 2. And there's 2 decrease. Chain 1 and turn. And 3, 4, 5, and 6, we're just going to single crochet into each, chain 1 and turn. So this is row 3. Chain 1, turn. 4. Chain 1, turn. 5. Chain 1, turn. And 6. All right, so for row 7, chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to single crochet into each of the 2. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and fasten off. Pull pull that out. Okay, so now when we lay our work out with the stitch marker to the front, this is what our piece should be looking like. Okay, just like this. So what we're going to do is bring the backs together and line up these shoulder straps just like this. And your back is going to be a little open like that, and that's fine. All right, so what we're going to do now is the tail that we have from working that front strap, we are going to use to sew the tops of these two straps together. So I'm just going to go into the 2 loops of the back and come to the front. And I'm going to come around and go from the back to the front again. And then I'm going to go into this, well, I'm going to come around and I'm going to go into the side just because I want a nice good seam right there. Okay, and now I'm going to weave in this end by coming back. I'm just going to go through the legs of these stitches, just weaving this in wherever I can get it, and I'm going to cut. Okay, now we're just going to repeat that on this side. Take the tail from the top, get that on our needle, hold the 2 straps together, and I'm going to come around, go through the 2 loops of each stitch, come around again, and then I'm going to go into the side of those stitches, just straight through, just like that. And now I'm going to bring this to the back and weave in the end through some stitches. Oop. Just like that. And cut. Okay. So now we have what looks like this. And we've got 2 little ends we need to weave in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and get that weaved in real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now I've got all those ends weaved in, and this is what we've got. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start working from the chain down. So this is the bodice part of the dress that's going to fit like this on our doll. Okay, so now we're going to extend this down a little ways. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this upside down with our beginning chain, our beginning tail over here. And I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. I set my hook somewhere. There. Alright, so we are going to attach into that very first chain. The very first remaining, the remaining loops of the very first chain. I can't speak. So right into there. Okay, so you can see right there are the legs of the first single crochet. Alright, so we're gonna attach right into that. Go right in there and slip stitch. I'm going to pull that tail to tighten it. Wrong tail. Alright, now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go right back in there with 2 double crochet. And now what we're going to do, and you can see the way I'm holding it, you can see all of the holes. Those right there is where we're going to work our double crochets, because what we're going to do now is just double crochet across. Well, what this is this is the remaining loops. I keep missing the hole, sorry. The remaining loops from the chain that we worked into. And if you look, right here are the legs of the row 1 single crochets. So basically we're just working on into the other side of the chain. So we just worked 2. Now we're going to work a double into each straight across. So we're just going to go right into each of those holes. And if you don't see the holes, all you can do is just look at this and you can see the legs of the doubles, like, or I mean the singles. So if I turn that upside down, see the legs of that single. So when I turn it over, I know if I just take my hook and put it on those legs and push, it goes right into those remaining loops of the chain. So we're just going to double crochet right across, and you should have 33 double crochets. So that very first the very first one we did, if we only worked one into that and then one straight across, we'd only have 32 because we started with 33 chains singled into the second chain, so we lost a chain, so that leaves us 32 single crochets. But since we worked 2 doubles into that first, now we'll be up to 33. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I was going to finish this off camera, but I'm going to stay with you because I want you guys to be able to see. Like right now it's getting a little hard to see where I need to go, so if I just just push my hook through where the legs are, right there is the loops that I need to work into, or the remaining loops. So right now all I'm doing is looking for the legs of the single crochets. Almost there. And that last one, you can see right there is one of the legs. I'm just going to go right in there. And we should have 33. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Good deal. Okay, so row 2, we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we're just going to double crochet right across. So this one's pretty simple. So I'm going to let you guys work this off camera, and I will meet you when we get to the other end. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm to the last double. So if I rotate my work just a little, you can see the top of that double. So I'm going to double into there, and then chain 1 and turn, and row 3 we're going to repeat that same thing, just double crochet straight across. Okay? Alright, so you guys can go ahead and get this done, and I will get mine done off camera and be right back. Okay, so now we, I got a pin mark. We are going to, or I'm sorry, I double crocheted into that last double, and now we're going to chain 1, pull up a loop, and fasten off. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take a second to weave in this end, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start the solid portion that's under the lacy portion of our dress. And that, for my dress, it's going to be white. But any color would be really pretty. Like some, oh, excuse me, I just took a drink of coffee. Some of the toilet paper dress covers that I did, I thought it was really neat to switch it up so that the dark color was the solid portion under the lace, and the light color was, or a light color, I shouldn't say the, a light color was the, you know, the opposite side. I don't know why, every time I film and I try to do something, you know, like this and talk at the same time, I cannot do it. I have to stop and focus on what I'm doing. Okay. Pulled that a little too tight. Bring that back. There we go. Okay. There. So this is what our piece should be looking like. Just like that. Okay, let's move on. I just cracked my ankle. Let's move on to row 4. And row 4, we are going to still have our stitch marker facing us, but now I'm on to my white. So you use your secondary color. And I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. And into that very first double crochet with the stitch marker facing us, I'm going to attach with a slip stitch. Pull that tail to tighten it down. Chain 1, and I'm going to work 2 double crochet into that very first double that we just attached to. I'm going to work 2 doubles. And now I'm going to work 2 double crochet into each double all the way across. So we're going to go from 33 double crochets to 66. All right. So go ahead and repeat this straight across, okay? And I'll meet you guys at this end. Okay, so I've made it across. I have one more double that I need to work my 2 doubles into. All right, and that's the end of row 4. You should have 66, so I'm going to chain 1, or no, I'm sorry, messed that up. We are going to slip stitch to the very first double. So now we're going to start working in the round. All right. So I am going to work one more row with you, or round with you guys, and then I'm going to call this good for part 1, okay? So this is going to be the end of part 1. So this is round 5 of the skirt, so we are going to chain 1, and all we're going to do is work 1 single crochet into each double all the way around, okay? So that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys work this, and I'm going to get mine done off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I made it around. I have one more double to single crochet into, and now I'm going to slip stitch to that first single, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop here, okay? So this is the end of part 1. I'm going to leave it here. So I hope you guys enjoyed, enjoyed what you've seen so far. Hit that thumbs up if you did, and subscribe, and definitely hit that notification bell, and then click all so you get notified for everything that I put out, okay? And leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think so far. So in the description box is going to... In the description box is going to be the link to part 2 and part 3 and any of the supplies you're going to need. So, all right, I'm going to get off here, and I'll see you in part 2.